Hello, everyone. My name is Natalia Saukova, and I'm International Scientific Officer of IADS. It is an honor and pleasure to welcome the founder, CEO, and ultimate expert, Dr. Christian Coachman, today in IADS webinar. Please welcome Christian.
Hello, Natalia. How are you?
I'm great. We're excited to hear this webinar. How are you?
I'm doing good. Enjoying my Sunday here in Brazil. It's winter for us, even though winter for us is not really winter. It's like 15 degrees. It's the coldest day in the year here in São Paulo. But I'm very happy to be here with you guys and to share this hour with all students from all over the world. And I know that there are people from all over the world, really. So welcome, everybody, and thanks for sharing your time with me and allowing me to share some ideas with you. I hope that we can use this 1 hour to discuss some nice, interesting points regarding this new modern way of doing dentistry, and that this can generate some more curiosity for some of you to move forward in what we call this holistic dentistry, digital dentistry, interdisciplinary dentistry, artistic dentistry, and emotional dentistry. So let me first, as I know here we are sharing this on Facebook Live, so IADS really organized in a way for us to reach the biggest amount of students. So we are sharing this on YouTube, sharing on Facebook. So if you give me 1 second, what I want to do now is to find the post on Facebook. Yeah, I can see myself on Facebook here. Very cool. And I'm going to share this on my pages. So the DSD community can also join the young dentists and the students. Here we go. And we are now live for the DSD environment as well. So all my DSD friends, welcome as well. And this is an event organized by this amazing association that I was very honored to collaborate since many years, the International Association of Dental Students. So what I want to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to be going back and forth from my face to my screen. I want to share with you some slides. So what I want to do is spend a few minutes explaining a little bit who I am and what is DSD, and then a few more minutes explaining what is the DSD magazine and doing a quick overview of each section of this magazine. And after this, we're going to open for Q&A. I already saw some of the questions, very good questions, very smart questions that I'll be happy to answer and interact with these great questions. Okay, Natalia, should I move forward?
Yes, please go ahead. I'd just like to remind the viewers that they're free to ask, because Dr. Coachman will be answering your questions if there is some time left. So feel free to ask any kind of questions. And you may begin.
Yep. Okay, so I hope everybody can see my screen. And let's start from the beginning. So what I see is that dentistry is going through an amazing moment, really a unique moment where dentistry is moving to this new era, and it's not only about digital. Dentistry is finally really connecting the dots. So we are really seeing more and more professionals trying to become better on what we call holistic dentistry, global dentistry, becoming better diagnosticians, understanding dentistry as part of a whole body, as a systemic environment, understanding what means not doing a beautiful dentistry and not only doing great clinical procedures, but biologically treating the whole patient as a whole body, understanding the connection between all the parts of the body and the mouth. And of course, also going to what we call emotional dentistry, meaning that we are really understanding the power of treating our patients as real clients, generating an amazing experience when they go to our clinics. So of course, this involves strategies, not only on the marketing side, on the business side, but really training our staff, preparing our environment to create what we call the wow effect, making our clients become our fans, our promoters, and sending a complete new message to the general public that dentistry, modern dentistry is beautiful, modern dentistry is delicate, is precise, is amazing, that we can really change people's life by allowing them to smile with more confidence. I never talk about perfect smiles. I never talk about symmetric smiles. I always talk about confident smiles, meaning that we need to generate health, well-being. We need to generate self-esteem. We need to generate confidence. People should be allowed to smile with confidence. And that means that if somebody has a healthy mouth and smiles with confidence, even if the smile is not perfect, there's no reason for us to change their smile. So this gives a different perspective, an ethical perspective for our smile design process, for our presentation to our patients. We really need to understand that very few professions can change people's life as dentistry can, because we can really change the way people perceive themselves by allowing them to smile with confidence. The impact of smiling with confidence is huge, and this is proven scientifically, that people that smile with confidence, they live more, they get sick less, they are have a bigger chance to become professionally successful, to create better relationships, to enjoy life, and to be happy. So we all have the right to smile with confidence. And if you don't smile with confidence, your best friend should be your good dentist. Just a little bit of my background. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil. That's where I was born, where I grew up, where I went to do my education. I went to University of São Paulo, and I did dental technology. I'm a technician, and I did dentistry. I'm also a dentist, even though I worked as a technician my whole life as a ceramist. That was my main job for 20 years. I was building ceramics with my own hands, and even though people recently know me as the guy behind digital smile design, I was never a digital guy. I was always a handmade guy. That's how I was working for many, many years. I was working, and I had the honor and the pleasure to work with some of the best dentists in the world. I was actually like a gypsy technician. I was, since 2004, I put my lab in a bag, in a suitcase, and I was traveling the whole world working with some of the most well-known dentists from all over the world, and being able to share with them, learn from them, and exchange knowledge and develop concepts with all of them. So this background allowed me to develop the DSD concept. The DSD concept is just a concept that is trying to create more predictable solutions to be more efficient, more profitable, and to do dentistry with less stress, since we know dentistry is one of the most stressful professions we have. So we really want to develop strategies to work with less stress. Also has a big tradition in dentistry that, of course, we are very proud to share. We actually have 6 generations non-stop of dentists in our family. Today, we have me, my brother, my sister-in-law, my father, and my uncle. But before that, my grandfather and some of his brothers, my great-grandfather and also some of his brothers, my great-great-grandfather, and my great-great-great-grandfather was also a dentist. The first guy you see there on the left is my great-great-great-grandfather. He graduated from dental school in 1848. So this tradition allowed us to be actually on the Guinness Book as the longest family in dentists in the world. And this, of course, allowed me to study their lives and what they were doing in the past, and was amazing to see that all of them had one very interesting thing in common. They were all thinking outside the box. This is like a tradition. They were all kind of pioneers in their own era, trying to share knowledge, very passionate about what they're doing, and trying to create better ways to treat their patients. So this was kind of genetically transmitted to our generation now, and that's how we developed the whole thing. This is the website that I suggest all of you to visit. This is our website, and there's a lot of content there that you can understand a little bit more about what is DSD. And one of the things that we shared with everybody is the DSD magazine that we're going to talk about a little bit further. But I want to share with you one simple slide here. One simple slide to make a question to all the young dentists, young students around. This is a research done by a very well-known institute showing that from all dentists.
Sorry, but we couldn't see the website you were recommending us because you're not sharing your screen right now. So if you could just go back to that now, please.
What happened with my screen? Okay. Was not sharing at any moment?
Yes, we saw the names of the people that inspired you, but afterwards we couldn't see the slide anymore.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, can you see my slide now?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
So this is an important slide to make you understand that to be happy as a dentist, you need to learn many different skills. One of them is to be a good clinician, but this is just a part of the puzzle. What is interesting to see is that this research shows that from all the dentists that are graduating all over the world, only 2% of them will become extremely good in what they do. 8% will become very good, proficient. 36% of all these young dentists will study their whole life trying to become good and will not really get there. And 54% will not care at all and will just do dentistry just to do it. So the first question is, what type of dentist do you want to become? A second very important question or information here. From all the young dentists graduating and starting their life, only 1% will actually make a lot of money with their profession. 4% will become independent. 5% will have a comfortable life. So we have a total of 10% that will actually be happy doing dentistry. 90% will work forever and never achieve independence through the profession. So the question here is, what kind of professional you want to be? The important thing is that this graphic showing the clinical quality has nothing to do with this graphic showing the financial success. The most successful dentists I know are not necessarily the best clinicians I know. Usually, actually, the people that I know that are making more money with dentistry are not the best clinicians that I know. So for me, I always wanted to help my clients, my dentists, my clinicians as a technician. I wanted to help my very good clinicians to become also very successful. So I started to study all kinds of strategy of how to run a successful office. So DSD, Digital Smile Design, it's about manage what we believe should be a successful clinic, a successful modern dental office. And to make this happen, we need to really understand several factors. And I just want to show with you one slide here that will summarize all the points that we've been working with, and where on the courses, these are the points that we are studying and trying to give information for people so they can understand how to manage their office. So we believe that, yes, technology is the way to do better dentistry in a less stressful way. It's not that you cannot do great dentistry without digital. Many amazing clinicians have been doing great dentistry without digital at all. But we see that digital is allowing us to do better, to do faster, and to increase profits by increasing the margins, predictability, efficiency, concepts that every industry are using. So on our courses, we teach people how to use strategies to become a better facial analyzer and smile designer. Number one. Second, how to become a better treatment planner, a better diagnostician, a better decision maker, how to connect the dots, how to integrate the disciplines, how to create better projects. That's number two. Number three, after we have a beautiful smile design project and a beautiful interdisciplinary treatment plan that combines function, biology, structure, and aesthetics, and the holistic vision of the whole body, how can we sell this project? Because somebody has to pay for it. So all the strategies of how to create the engagement, the motivation, the education of the patient, how to make the patient say, wow, this is amazing, this is what I want for me, I'm going to change my priorities, and I'm going to invest in my oral health, I'm going to invest in my smile. So this is what we call the emotional dentistry concept, and this is number three, the third principle that we try to share with people in our courses. And number four, after the case is sold, how can we actually produce all the devices from guides, stents, restorations, appliances, everything that we need to produce to treat our patients, utilizing a very simple concept that we call guided dentistry. It's not guided surgery, it's guided dentistry. Modern dentistry will be fully guided, meaning that every procedure we do in the mouth will, of course, depend on a lot of knowledge and a lot of hand skills, but will be guided by the initial project. So we need to understand how to transform a digital project into a real clinical procedure, to have predictable outcomes, to bring a higher level of predictability to dentistry. And then the fifth area that we've been working is on creating strategy and protocols of quality control, meaning that modern dentistry needs to use quality control, exactly like any kind of process in any kind of business. There's no reason why we shouldn't use quality control procedures in dentistry, meaning that after every single procedure, we need to understand how to do quality control to evaluate the outcome of that specific procedure in relationship to the initial design, the initial project, to understand if we need to fine-tune this procedure or should we move forward with the result that we achieved already. So these are the 5 moments that we believe technology can drastically help us to do better in a more efficient way with less stress. So this is basically the summary, of course, in a few words, in a few minutes, of a full day lecture of a 8-day hands-on course that we do. Now, Natalia, all good?
Yes, but we cannot see the slides right now. So
Okay, so for some reason, my screen is
prefers
not
you,
unique.
not your presentation. Your PC prefers you, your face, not your presentation.
So every time my slide stops showing, just let me know.
Okay. I'll let you know in the group.
Yeah.
Have a look on your phone then. Perfect.
Better to just say it. You can just say it here because
Okay.
it's hard for me to look at the camera and speak and look at the
Okay.
the WhatsApp here. Okay. But I don't know if you saw. Did you see the slide here?
No.
You didn't see the slide.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. So this is the 5 moments that I was talking. But you did hear me, right?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. So as I said, Goal number 1 of the DSD concept: improve our oral facial skills, understand the whole face, how to design smiles better integrated with faces. Number 2, integrate the dots, the disciplines, make better decisions, treatment plan better, create a real interdisciplinary clinic. Number 3, how to improve our relationship with the patient, create motivation, education, increase case acceptance through what we call the emotional dentistry approach. And number 4, treat the patient through the concept of guided dentistry, producing digitally all the devices that we need to have more predictable outcomes. And number 5, implement all the ideas of quality control to guide each step, not only the final outcome, but understand the outcome of each step through quality control procedures to make sure that the final result is much more similar to the initial project that we shared to our patients. Is it clear, Natalia?
Perfectly clear. You can go ahead now. Thank you.
Okay. So what I want to do now is to share with you quickly the DSD magazine. So I hope most of you watching already went through the magazine to take a look. But I want to briefly explain how we organize this magazine. And the goal is to actually come out with 3 issues per year. This first issue was a special edition. It's almost like a book, more than 200 pages. But we do have the intention of every 4 months coming with the new edition. I already saw that we have some questions from Turkey. So maybe some of you know this guy on the left, one of my mentors, a teacher
we don't see him. Sorry.
You don't see the screen?
No, not now.
So for some reason, the okay. Do you see now?
Yes.
Okay, so let me make it bigger here. Do you see now? Right?
Yep. Yes.
So Galip is one of our special guests of this first edition. Galip Gurel. If you don't know him, I strongly advise you to get to know him, get to know his book, and if you have the possibility of seeing one of his lectures, he's definitely one of the great teachers of our time. Another guy that is part of this project is Marcelo Calamita, one of the best prosthodontists that I know, and if you don't know his name, I strongly suggest you to get to know his name, his articles. Most of the things that I published in partnership with Marcelo. You know, we've been working together since ever. Another guy that I strongly suggest you all to know more about, it's another great pioneer of our time, Dr. Michael Cohen, founder of the biggest study club in dentistry called Seattle Study Club, that I definitely invite you to search on Google, learn more, and somehow I believe that he organizes an annual meeting that for me is always the best dental meeting of the year. So definitely a place to be for all of you. This magazine also has the intention of working almost like a guideline, like a guideline on how to search for the right information, how to search for the right articles, since all of you know reaching out to information is not the challenge anymore. Everybody has everything in your hands. The key is to filter and understand what information is worth spending time learning from. So we try to really give some of this information. Then we go through some basic principles of modern dentistry through the magazine, talking about facially driven dentistry, and then talking about emotional dentistry, the biological impact of smiling with confidence. And then we give you some suggestions of probably the books that can really make somebody become a modern, global, holistic, interdisciplinary, great dentist. So several suggestions over there. We have, of course, some sponsors that are always supporting these causes. If you don't know nothing about this foundation, I also strongly recommend you to take a look. For me, it's the coolest charity project in dentistry nowadays, run by some good friends, and I strongly advise you to take a look in depth. So you have here the interview with Galip. Of course, you can go after this later on. This is what I'm saying, the Seattle Study Club. Google them, find out more about their annual symposium, and be part of it as soon as you can. Then I have a couple of cases where I share the process, our thinking process. And the first case we have here is a case that I did with Galip, and I saw some questions about the relationship between the digital markup and the direct markup. We can answer these questions later, but here you will be able to see where we came from and why we do what we do nowadays, never forgetting the way we did in the past, you know. Very important to understand that digital is not here to deny analog. It's not here to deny what we did in the past, what our mentors did in the past. Digital is here to facilitate, to help us do better what we learned from them in the past. Another very important thing is that digital is a better way to process things. Digital is a more simple way to do quality in a predictable way. But digital is not the best way to learn. We need to keep doing analog processes in the learning curve experience to be able to take advantage of digital. What do I mean? We don't do analog wax-ups. I don't do analog wax-ups with my hands anymore on the production line of our clinics. Why? Because when you do digital wax-ups, digital 3D projects, you can do them better, faster, more beautiful, more natural, more facially integrated, and more interdisciplinary related. So there's no reason to do handmade wax-ups anymore. But handmade wax-ups is one of the most important ways to learn the principles, train your hands, train your eyes, train your brain, train your skills. So every single dentist, every single technician should do at least once a month handmade wax-ups forever as a learning experience, not as a production experience, not as a production line. When we produce things for our patients, we do digital because it's better. When we want to practice, we do analog because it's better. So this is very important. So you can go through the cases, understanding exactly at that time, we were doing fully analog work, and this is how we were working at that time. There's another case that I did with another amazing dentist, Dr. Leonardo Baccherini, right arm of Mauro Fradiani nowadays. Amazing case that I did several years ago with them, completely analog, completely handmade as well. The third case, done with another great friend, another great partner, Dr. Eric Van Duren, and a case that I did in partnership with him, with Paulo Cano, with Sidney Kina, great people working together on this case. And again, this was the beginning of digital for us at that time, doing simple digital drawings, just to brainstorm the ideas and how we translated digital into the analog procedures, into the clinical procedures. You can follow that on case number 3. Case number 4, done in partnership with another great partner of mine, Dr. Andrea Ricci from Florence, another amazing dentist. And again, at that time, the beginning of digital for us, doing digital 2D drawings and then translating these 2D drawings into the 3D world. So you can follow this case and you can follow exactly how we translated 2D digital into 3D analog. Case number 5, done with another great mentor, Dr. David Garber from Team Atlanta, a clinic that I worked for 5 years, several years ago. Again, completely analogically done. You can see my handmade wax up, my handmade ceramics, but showing the principles of how we were working at that time and how we were trying to be more predictable. And case number 6, a case that I worked as a dentist myself and as the ceramist myself in partnership with Dr. Braulio Paolucci, a great friend, a great dentist from Brazil. And you can see here the whole concept of facially driven digital design. You can see morphopsychology, you can see visagism, you can see smile customization, how we were customizing these smiles at that time. And the concept of holistic dentistry with all the steps and the meaning, how we run our clinic on a holistic level, going beyond just teeth, going beyond just the mouth. So you can go into details here, and then we explain all the 17 steps. We explain each step in details. What do we do? How do we do? And I know that some of the questions are related to this, so we will cover this after I do this little summary. So you will see step by step how we do all kinds of different mock-ups, comparisons, pros and cons, the concept of the thinking process of integrating all the disciplines and performing facially driven treatment planning, very important. Starting from the body posture to the bite registration, and then understanding how to deal with these very common situations of worn dentition cases that you will all see a lot when you start working in your clinics. But of course here showing through the digital world how we can simplify the process, how we can design smiles in the computer, how we can integrate function in the computer, and how we can digitally design devices to test drive this bite and to test drive function in the patient's mouth before moving into the real final restorations. It's what we call the transitional phase and the transitional restorations. So here you will see going through the process after procedures and quality control, as I said, how the digital world will help us to do more better quality control procedures. Can you still see my screen, Natalia?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's working now. Perfect.
So, oh, perfect. So I know what happens. I cannot put full screen on my slide, on my page here, otherwise share screen stops.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem. Right. Okay, so then after we summarize the thinking process of interdisciplinary function, smile, aesthetic design, we talk a little bit about this analog digital moment, advantages and disadvantages at this moment of moving into digital in a very honest, realistic way, showing how I used to do facial driven wax-ups in the past and how we do facial driven wax-ups in the digital world nowadays, with all the advantages that I mentioned. Then what I did here was to utilize my learning experience to tell a little story to all of you about the evolution of smile design. And I break this process down into a couple of different generations. So it's actually 6 generations. I classified this evolution in 6 levels, from what we used to do at the beginning, completely analog, and how we've slowly started to move into digital to become more precise, to become more predictable. So from the beginning, working with PowerPoint and Keynote, and then the challenges of trying to link the digital design from the Keynote PowerPoint into my wax-up, all the different professionals that were trying to generate this link, solutions for that. And then when we started to work with the digital ruler, and that was the moment where we started to really make measurements on the computer screen and translate this to our working model and guiding our handmade wax-ups. This was the first link. So 2D digital, 3D analog. And this is explained on here, how we used to do this link to have more precise facially driven wax-ups that will allow us to reduce aesthetic adjustments in the mouth. So there's several examples here of cases, and then I also give a little parenthesis here on the artificial pink, another technique, another concept that we developed, with all the articles related to it. And then it moves into dynamic analysis, how we started to use videos in dentistry, how we started to analyze the face with the motion, lip dynamics, and how our smile design projects started to become better because of that. And then at the moment when we started to go 2D digital, 3D also digital, moving away from handmade wax-ups into digitally designed 3D projects, 3D digital wax-ups. So you see exactly all the softwares that were showing up at that time, the softwares that we developed to do this at the time, to integrate the face and the 3D world and develop these designs in 3D. Then another very important moment when we started to move into CAD/CAM and started to translate these 3D projects into 3D digitally designed restorations. Great move, amazing moment that is really impacting our work nowadays. And then the complete digital workflow with intraoral scanners, printing technology, milling technology, and so on. So I show examples of how we are right now developing fully digital restorations, what kind of natural look we can achieve, and how we can develop what we call natural algorithms restorations. So doing CAD/CAM restorations with natural algorithms. The smile donator concept, another amazing concept that is really impacting the restorative world. And you can read in the magazine here the ideas that we believe will become the golden standard in the near future. So several examples, we are almost done, and then I show also the integration between 3D digital design with guided surgery, with implants, all the different types of situations in implant dentistry, and how we can guide these procedures through a complete digital workflow. And the moment that we are right now moving into 3D scans, 3D facial scans, and 3D digital motion, how we can record the jaw and actually bring this real movement of the jaw into the digital world to allow us to design even more functionally integrated digital restorations. And this is what we are going through right now. And finally, the concept of oral facial treatments, all the possibilities that integrates dentistry with orthodontic surgery, with orthodontics, with plastic surgery, with dermatology, all the new procedures that we can incorporate to our toolbox to treat the patients in a much deeper way, in a much more comprehensive, holistic way. We end the magazine with an interview, a little article from a great friend of mine, a great celebrity in dentistry, Dr. Mike Appa, that is a very successful doctor, one of the most successful dentists that I know, and he talks a little bit about his story and what means success for him. And we end here with this picture. This is me with my father, my biggest and first inspiration, and Marcelo Calamita, my eternal partner. And this is the magazine. So, Natalia, my suggestion now is we can maybe go to the Q&A. How you want to proceed?
I definitely agree. Cannot disagree. Even the birds are singing and they agree as well. We can now move on to the questions. So I shall read the first one, which is by a dental student from Malaysia. It is regarding the DSD protocol. It goes with, how can one accurately transfer the smile design from Keynote software onto the wax-up cast, since a digital caliper can only transfer in terms of measurements?
Good question. And I think I have a picture here that can help. So, of course, as I said today, we don't do that anymore because we go 2D digital, 3D digital. So what we do nowadays is we actually integrate, and I can have a picture here that summarizes this. So whatever we do in 2D over the facially driven pictures will be copied precisely by overlapping pictures with 3D files. So today in the digital world, in the 3D digital world, the 3D digital wax up is a perfect ideal copy of whatever the face is asking for. And we can really test this in the face by connecting the 3D files to facial images of the patient, as you can see here on the screen. But what the person is asking is what we were doing before that. One generation before that, what we were actually doing was this. I was taking pictures of the patient, facial pictures. I'm sorry, I'm actually not sharing the screen.
No,
I need to share my screen. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes.
So this is what we have now. Face of the patient, 3D models, 3D wax up, and we can move the design and see exactly the impact of the design in the face. Before that, we were doing this. We were taking pictures, designing our smile in 2D, and with this little yellow ruler, calibrating this ruler to the picture, and on Keynote PowerPoint making measurements in different angles. So we would always work with a frontal picture, a 12 o'clock picture, this one on the top, from the top of the head, occlusal and profile. Make the measurements and then go back to the model with the caliper. We would translate these measurements with the caliper to our working model. And I have an image here that will probably help people to understand. This is it. So you see here on the top left, you see the drawings. You see my yellow ruler here measuring the distance between where I am and where I want to be. And then I go to my working model, and with the caliper, a real caliper, I translate these measurements as precise as possible, and I guide my wax up combining the digital ruler and the real caliper. Okay?
Perfect.
Next.
Next question is from France. So I'm a fifth-year student from France. Whenever I see DSD cases and also when I read the magazine, I feel like everyone is getting the same smile. Designing it on a computer, giving the proportions as standard somehow make lost on the personalized restorations, at least what I feel. My question therefore is it mainly dental technicians doing the same work, or is it a dentist to blame when we plan or design the smile create almost the same faces? Yeah.
So two questions there. The first question, is digital smile design process standardizing the smile, everybody getting the same smile? No, it's actually the opposite. If you work with handmade restorations, we technicians, we ceramists, even the best ceramists in the world can do with their hands maybe 1, 2, or 3 types of morphology that actually looks natural. So when we look at a case, we can almost identify the technician that did the case. On the digital world, we don't have that problem because we can scan anybody in the world that has beautiful dentition, and we can have in our library hundreds of different beautiful natural shapes, and we can use whatever shape we want in whatever case we want. For example, in the digital world, we can scan the daughter and rehabilitate the mother with the beautiful morphology of the daughter, and we can even customize this and make changes to make it even more customized, adapted to the mother. So the digital world allows us to copy nature and bring nature to our work. So this problem doesn't exist. Actually, digital is the solution to create the most amazing, customized, natural imperfections of a beautiful natural smile. Really, instead of trying to copy nature with our hands, actually copy nature by scanning nature and using real natural files into our rehabilitation. The second question was if dental technicians should be doing this. Both, you know, it's the same thing in the analog world. Who does the wax ups? Usually technicians are doing the wax up, so usually technicians will do the digital work as well. But if a dentist wants to do that themselves, they can do. It's a steep learning curve, the same way, doing digital design. It also requires artistic skills, artistic vision, artistic know-how, smile design knowledge, aesthetic parameter knowledge, facial analysis, everything to become a real good artistic smile designer. Next.
Thank you for an amazing answer. I believe it is all clear now. I have more questions coming. So, I'm a dental student from Morocco, fourth year, and really patient about passionate about digital dentistry. As far as I see, there is still the human hand and is getting touched at some points. When do you think it might be completely digital, that we even produce restoration before we do any preparation to a patient, and maybe even guided preparation? What is missing for that level, and when do you predict it's going to happen?
Yes, the future will be completely digital. There's no way back. There's no way back. Every industry is fully digital or going towards becoming fully digital. It's not going to be different in dentistry. But being fully digital doesn't mean you don't need a hand touch. You don't need a brain. You need to be in control of the computer. You need to make the decisions. The digital world is allowing us to simplify many procedures, giving us more time to become better on what really matters. And what really matters is becoming better diagnostician, becoming better treatment planners, making better decisions. For me, the most difficult part of dentistry is not performing high-end procedures. The most difficult part of dentistry is treatment planning very well. That's where we need to invest our energy and time to become better treatment planners, to understand the big picture, to understand how to connect the dots, and then create the plan and perform this plan clinically, of course, with good skills. We need to focus on that as well. The digital world is allowing us to become better on what is more difficult. Designing, planning, making better decisions, building better plans, and because of that, the clinical work becomes much more simple. So hand skills, training your brain to make better decisions, prepare yourself to have the knowledge, this will always be there, and the digital will not take care of that, at least for the next few decades. So we still need a very good dentist as a quarterback of this whole process, of this whole team. Next.
Another question is from Turkey. I'm a fresh graduate from Turkey. I mainly practice direct mock-up technique, as our master Galib showed us. Do you believe this is our golden standard before the wax up and giving the patient new smile with some vesicle composite material? We can be on the same page with the patient. How you think it might be possible to adapt DSD to that level, besides showing some pictures as we do on PowerPoint? Partially you have answered already this question, but
more or less, yeah. I believe that handmade procedures are great. You just need to be an amazing artist. Galip Gurel is among those very, very, very few dentists that are also artists. They are also great skilled dentists. So yes, if you have this amazing skill, you can do that every single day, but even very skilled dentists, as soon as they start doing digital, they will save time, they will improve their production, they will be able to see more patients, and they will be able to still use their skills to fine-tune what is done on the computer. Many dentists, they do handmade direct mock-ups, and that is our starting point. So we scan that, bring to the computer, and then we improve. I worked with Galip for 5 years, and I learned a lot from him on the process of doing direct mock-ups. And that was what I was doing for many, many years, since 20 years, 30 years ago. me and the doctors that I was working, we were doing handmade direct mock-ups because that was the way to impact positively the patient on a first, second appointment. As soon as we go digital, you know, we make an impression of this direct mock-up and we realize that we can always make it better on the computer. So on a daily basis, why not doing the shortcut, scanning the patient, and very fast getting an amazing 3D project and then trying this in and being more predictable and having better results in a more controlled way and allowing us to teach more people to do that in their own patients. So again, doing direct mock-ups is always an amazing training process. So we should do that once in a while. I strongly recommend people to keep doing that, to keep your eyes very sharp, to keep your hands very precise, to keep your artistic brain working. But when it comes to creating a production line on a clinic that needs to generate profits and money, there's no comparison between digital and analog. Next.
All right, next question is from Taiwan. I'm a dental student on 6th year from Taiwan. My question is, should we do DSD to make more secure plans or for treatments, or is it more about promotion of our work?
Great question. Great question. It's both. As I said, DSD helps us to design better, treatment plan better, sell better, marketing, treat better, control better. 5 things. Of course, marketing is huge. Marketing is the core of any healthy business. There's no great business nowadays that doesn't understand very well how to market, how to promote, how to differentiate yourself. And there's a big part of the DSD program that we talk about how to differentiate yourself, how to create the wow effect, how to utilize digital marketing, how to connect to your client, how to impress your client, how to exceed their expectations, how to create the wow effect on the first, second appointment so they can say yes to you, they can accept your budget, your treatment plan, your estimate, and they can become your clients. But beyond that, the DSD concept has a very strong focus on how to integrate function and aesthetics, how to treatment plan your patient interdisciplinarily, how to do facially driven dentistry, how to become a better diagnostician, how to use technologies to simulate the treatments and avoid mistakes, how to perform better dentistry in a more controlled way. Next.
Next question is, would you be so kind to talk a little bit about the flowable injection technique for the provisional phase in case of veneers restorations? What flowable composite would you recommend, and what other protocol characteristics would you advise the young clinician to pay attention to? Thank you.
The flowable injected restoration is basically designing the case either with the wax up or on the computer in 3D and then printing. So you have the model of the design that you want. You make a silicone guide over it and you make holes. So when you fit this guide in the mouth, you can inject flowable composite. And of course, you need to first bond, etch and bond the teeth. So you inject and the composite will be exactly a copy of the mock-up. So you do the mock-up, that is a removable thing just to check the design, and then if everybody's okay, you will bond this to become a restoration that the patient can actually use and floss in between the teeth and so on. So it's a great technique. I think this technique will grow a lot because it becomes very practical since the digital project is giving us beautiful natural morphology. Instead of having to sculpt these restoration with your own hands in the mouth, we want just to inject and bring this natural algorithm, this natural morphology to the injected restoration. So I believe it's something that people will use more and more for sure.
Perfect, thank you. We have another interesting question, which is my question as well. DSD
Yeah.
is a great concept and a continuous development, but it is considered almost everywhere to be an elite treatment protocol that requires specific kind of patients to sustain the DSD protocols, DSD education, softwares, and of course a specific kind of dentist intellectually capable of implementing it. Would you consider shifting the DSD's position from elite to common knowledge by offering easy access to DSD education to the new student generation on a continuous level every year? Easy access means easy financially access or implementation of the DSD education into ordinary university curriculums.
Great question. First thing, DSD is not an elite procedure. It's actually the opposite. The clinics that are most taking advantage of DSD are the clinics that are actually treating lower level people, people with less money, because it creates a more efficient, a more democratic treatment by increasing efficiency. Every time you increase efficiency, if you want, you can actually treat more patients for less money. So that's the final goal. The problem is that the clients, the dentists that are actually coming to our courses are the dentists that actually have more money to actually come to our courses. So since many years, I've been trying to bring these ideas to dental schools. Now, of course, when you talk about dental schools, most of the dental schools, you have a lot of politics, you have a lot of egos, you have a lot of people, not understanding exactly this new movement. The students, the younger the dentist, the faster they understand the beauty of this new way of thinking, of this new workflow. So yes, our dream is to reach out to the young students, to young dentists, and allow them access to this kind of technology, this kind of ideas, because then we will be able to treat more patients in a better way. So, for example, this webinar for free for thousands of students all over the world is part of this process of us from DSD trying to share with as much young people as possible. And we are open for any kind of new ideas to spread the word and the knowledge.
Thank you for the answer. We have a short question for a change. So there is a question for a printed version of the magazine. Is there a printed version? Is there going to be one? Is it planned? Or is it going to be everything just digital?
There's no printed version yet. We are working on this, and it will come soon for sure. We don't know exactly when. We are doing partnerships and collaborations, and one of the reasons why we want to do printed versions is to have that in dental schools for people to access them, through a printed version as well.
So not only digital, you're still combining it with the printed version. Okay.
Yes, I think it's having something physical in your hands, it's always cool. I like to touch things. I like to see things with, in real world. So this is not going to disappear, I believe.
Yes, definitely. Printed books are much better to be read. At least that's my personal opinion. Okay. We have another question from Imad Khandour. I apologize for mispronunciation. Can we be sure that the transfer from the smile frame to the intraoral scan, is there no distortion to match them together and then making our digital walks up?
Say it again.
The question is whether we can be sure that the transfer is going to be exactly the same from the intraoral scanner, and whether there is no distortion.
From the intraoral scan.
And then to make the digital walks up.
Okay, yeah, this is already proven. We've been doing this, hundreds of these scans, intraoral scans, 3D design, printed mock-ups in the mouth, and the precision is amazing, not only for mock-ups, but if you do intraoral scans and 3D design, CAD/CAM restoration design, milling these restorations, going back to the mouth. This workflow is under control. Precision is great already, and it's only getting better and better.
Perfect, thank you. We have another question. How do you connect the 2D DSD with the CEREC software? Can you print the mockup with CEREC? Greetings from Germany.
Hello, Germany. Yes, we can. The 3D design that we do with, we use, the software that we use to do the 3D design is the Nemotech 3D software. And, but you can do 3D design with many different software. And nowadays, every file, every 3D project can be exported from one software and imported to another software, and you can continue on another software. So everything is connected. It's just a matter of the computer expert understand how to import files, export files, and overlap these files on different software. So everything is completely connected nowadays and possible. So that's the beauty nowadays. Yeah.
Another question from Germany. It's maybe a little bit philosophical, but still important. How can a young dentist finance the DSD scanner and software? How many courses do we approximately need to learn the workflow? And a comment, I loved the Invisalign collaboration and the seminar during the IADS exhibition in Cologne. Eleni from Germany.
So let's start the first. Let's break this question in. What is the first comment? The first question?
First question is, how can a young dentist finance the DSD scanner and software?
That's a good question. Prices, the good side is the prices are going down. Prices are going down, definitely. But yeah, there's no magic here. You need to work hard, make money, and buy them, you know. Every modern clinic needs an intraoral scanner nowadays, for sure. We need to work in 3D. The good thing is that you can start working with labs that have all this technology. So at the beginning, you can take advantage of technology without having the technology. Labs can scan for you. Labs can design for you. So you can outsource everything that is digital. Start treating your patients with the digital advantages, saving money, and then investing in the near future to have some of these equipments yourself. So this is it's a process. You know, you need to create a business model, create a business plan, create a strategy, a financial strategy on how to make this happen in your clinic. You need to be that's what I said at the beginning, you need to be a businessman as well. You need to study how to become a businessman if you want to run your own clinic.
Any loan recommendations or anything?
Be careful. Be careful with loans. Be careful with loans. Just as I said, I prefer much more outsourcing at the beginning, saving money, and financing yourself.
Second part of the question was, how many courses do we approximately need to learn the workflow?
Okay, we have courses that I give are 2 courses of 4 days. This is the DSD residency program. We have 1-day courses that we give all over the world. We call it DSD days. We have 50 international instructors giving DSD courses all over the world. Let me just, I forgot here my battery. I'm running out of battery. I'm just connecting. I need to connect my laptop into the outlet. 1 second. I'm sorry about that.
We're going to have a behind the scenes webinar as well.
Yes. This is real
Privacy.
world.
Yes.
And you're probably going to listen my 5-month-old baby screaming on the back. Our Sunday webinar experience. Can you hear him?
But I suppose it's not his or her first webinar that you...
No,
right?
no. We are all experienced. We're at home with webinars.
Okay.
Okay, so what was the final question?
The final question was just a comment. So yeah, the question was how many courses do we need? So you explained that. Next question.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's maybe go for 2 more questions.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Sure, if it's fine. There are
So
like
so
6
pick the
more or 4
pick,
more. I have to pick. Then I hope the rest is not going to be mad at me. There's just one comment. Dr. Michalopoulou says, hello from Cologne. Another great webinar after your live speech about DSD and the Invisalign collaboration at IDS. Dr. Coachman, how can we raise the bite posteriorly and to what extent can we do it?
how can we
raise the bite posteriorly?
Raise the bite.
Yeah, raise the bite.
Okay. Yes.
And to what extent can we do it? And
we can definitely raise the bite. Yeah, that's what we do it all the time. This is one of the most useful procedures nowadays. Since I mentioned we are treating more and more patients with worn dentition, meaning that gum can be even healthy, the teeth can be even healthy, but they are worn down. So a very, very common procedure that you should all learn very, very well is how to open the bite. And it's almost no contraindication on that. So we should all raise the bite to facilitate the treatment, to recover the tooth structure that was lost. And there's many philosophies on that, of course. We follow a very simple philosophy of bite deprogramming, utilizing an anterior jig, letting the patient, the muscles and the joint guide the position and find this new centric relationship position with the open bite. Register that nowadays with the scanner, and on a computer design the new restorations that will cover the occlusal of the teeth and determine this new open bite, this new vertical augmentation bite. Yeah. You should all learn more and more about this because it's something that you will be treating a lot.
Okay, and last comment from Dimitri's chat CMA. In the old days, with PowerPoint and Keynote, knowledge and the technology was open for all dentists. Let's not forget the same principle now with the 3D digital world. And congratulations for all your efforts. And
Thank
just
you very
many
much.
thanks from everyone. And would you agree? This is the last question. Would you agree that this is another tool and not the end to all the traditional lab process? But you have already answered this question, right?
Nothing is never the end. There's never an end. It's just a constant evolution. And as I said, analog knowledge mixed with digital workflows make the best combination.
Perfect. Well, I personally would love to tell you that I admire you, how you deal with that, how you can perfectly combine your family and with the profession. I really admire it, and I hope that one day I'll be able to at least do half of this great combination as you do. And huge
just
thanks.
a little peek here. This is little Thomas and Nicole, my wife, and the little baby. So they allowed me to be here on this webinar.
Congratulations,
they gave me the
and thanks
permission.
to them. Thank you very much, and huge thanks from all the students around the globe. We have reached around 3,000 students, maybe more. So I am definitely sure that I'm sure that this is just going to spread even more. If it's possible, it's already everywhere. And I wish you good luck in your personal life and in your profession. And thank you so much. And hope to have another great webinar with you in the future.
It's my pleasure for sure. As I said, this is one of our main goals. One of the main goals of the DSD community is to spread the word, to help more and more young dentists to incorporate these ideas, to share, to discuss, to exchange information. And we are totally open to doing this type of interaction more, and schedule maybe a few of them, you know, in the near future, bringing more topics, or maybe even answering the open questions still. So just keep in touch with our team. Whatever cool idea you guys have, just share with us, and we will be always very positive to support and to participate. So I hope everybody enjoyed, and I want to invite all the young people that joined us today here to help us spread the word of this more human, more holistic, more global, more interactive dentistry, trying to bring great dentistry for more people, allowing more dentists to treat better more patients. That's the final goal, and this is our mission. And hope to see some of you live in the near future, maybe in one of the meetings that I'm going to be speaking, maybe in one of the DSD courses in the near future. And I hope to meet you, some of you live in person, and shake hands, and maybe have a drink together and share some good time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and
See you
next time.
See you, Natalia. Thank you, and thanks to your team for organizing this.
Always a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.